I was interested in older boys and fast cars. So he looked at me and was like, if you don't give me your money, I'm going to pull the trigger. They raped me for the money he owed them. Like, I knew the insanity was there before, but this was like the first moment when I was like, I have a problem. Like, something is wrong with me. So my disease, I believe, has always been with me. When I was 14, I met my daughter's dad, and he was into, all drugs are the same, but he was into some of the harder drugs, like the pills and heroin, crack. So for the next like year or two, I was like heavy into pills. I was taking like up to 35 to 40 Vicodins a day. I come from like a middle, upper class family background. We live in the suburbs, like drugs aren't readily available. But I was staying and like hanging out in Detroit, and I was like 16 years old. The first time I'd ever tried heroin by like injecting it. So like my disease progressed fast, and like my downfall was like even faster, like, because then I got pregnant. During that time, I was doing pills in the beginning because I didn't know I was pregnant, and then I started doing dope again, and then I found out I was pregnant. And they put me on a maintenance program. So like they were giving me Suboxone while I was pregnant so that my daughter, like the stress of withdrawing wouldn't be too hard on my daughter and she wouldn't die. And then she came out born addicted to opiates. I lost custody of my daughter in March. She was born March 23rd, and I lost custody of her March 8th. And then May 10th, I like woke up after like a 3-day crack binge, and I couldn't move, and I like couldn't, my brain was telling me that I needed to get high, but like my body wouldn't get out of bed. And so I called my mom. I was staying at my grandma's at the time because I couldn't stay at home with my parents and my daughter. And I called her, and she took me into rehab. And then I went to a 3-quarter house, and my great-grandma paid for it. And I like just went to meetings with people, and they like had me do things. Like I found a sponsor and like started working these steps that they give you. I just like worked very hard, and like CPS gave me a list of things to do. I had to drug test, and I had to meet with this CPS worker every month, and I had to do counseling with my daughter. We showed up one day, I had almost a year clean, and they were just like, I don't see any reason why she can't have custody of her kid back. And so like April 12th, I think, April 12th of 2 years ago, I got full rights of my daughter back. I attend meetings, and I apply principles in my life. Like 3 of the basic ones I talked about are like honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness, and unity. I know I can't do this alone. I need other people to help me with where I'm at. Like, my best thinking got me into rehab. Like, my best thinking got guns pointed at my head. My best thinking got my daughter taken away from me. So I know that, like, with others' opinions and others' advice together, like the unity of, like, being there for one another, I am capable, it is capable for me to do anything, and it is possible for me to do anything. And, like, as long as I stay honest with people about where I'm at, as long as I honestly share my experience, strength, and hope, and I stay open-minded to the fact that, like, my life will continue to get better. I had to be willing to do those things. Like, I attend meetings on a regular basis, even though I don't want to. Like, I don't have the desire to use drugs today. But the program also teaches me that in order to keep what I have, the spiritual principles that I have in my life today, in the life I have today, I have to give back. I can't control my disease either, and like that's the hard part, because there's a difference between like my disease and the drugs. Like I use drugs to deal with my disease, and today like I had to replace the drugs with these principles that I'm taught. There is not enough information, and there is not enough because most of these groups they can't go on TV and they can't go on the radio and they can't do these things because it's breaking people's anonymity. And so like I would like people to know that like there is information available. Like you go to any courthouse, any hospital, any counseling center, and you can find the advice. I think if the public was more educated on what addiction was, like help would be more readily available. And you wouldn't see so many people out here dying in the streets or robbing people's houses or killing people for money to get drugs. And like once again, like there is hope. People can change their life. 3 years ago today, I was actually this exact day 3 years ago, I was in a dope house shooting dope. I just got done robbing my own grandmother, and my mom called me. And I answered the phone, and she was like, hey, are you going to see Olivia today? Don't forget, you're coming over at 3. And it was 2:15, and I knew I wasn't coming over. And I was like, yep, I'll be there at 3. And I didn't see my kid for a whole nother week. And like, so there's a way to change. Like, people do change, and, like, things are, like, today, I'm a great mom. Like, I'm with my kid all day, every day, because I don't have a job right now. And, like, she loves me, and she always asks for me, and sometimes she's rude, but like I guess all kids are. And like today my kid looks at me in the face and tells me she loves me, and like she knows who her mom is today. And like like, you know, and it's, the people can change, and like it's possible. It is possible. That's it.